A South Carolina judge has declared a mistrial in the case of a former South Carolina cop charged with murdering an unarmed black man back in April 2015. Officer Michael Slager pulled over Walter Scott for a broken taillight. Scott ran from his car, then was shot in the back. CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman is in Charleston. He spent the day in court. Mark, this is a case that seemed to have clear evidence to convict. Do we have a sense of what the key issues were here?
I have no idea, Meg. That's the key question, I think, for everyone involved. We're still waiting now for the lawyers from both tables, prosecutors and defense lawyers, and the Scott family to come down and give us their impressions of what it was that they think led to this deadlocked jury and now a mistrial, which puts basically everybody probably through the whole process all over again. We knew there were issues last Friday when there was a holdout juror, who apparently said that under no circumstances was it possible for him or her to consider a guilty verdict. But today the jury came back, gave the judge a note, and the first line of the note was that a majority of us are undecided, and then they asked a handful of questions, all of which seemed to suggest that this jury was still open to deliberating. So back in they went for a fourth day. But they came back about a half hour ago, and after 22 hours of deliberations, the only thing this jury could agree on unanimously was that there was no point in continuing. And at that point, the judge really had no choice but to declare a mistrial. Meg?
Mark, what was the reaction in court when the mistrial was declared?
Well, I mean, there's obviously disappointment on the part of the Scott family, who wanted this to be over. They've waited since April of last year for what their sense of justice is in this case. You know, it's interesting. Anthony Scott is Walter Scott's brother. You'll recall when this first happened and then the video surfaced a couple of days later, Officer Slager was arrested right away. And what heartened the Scott family at that point and all their supporters was that justice seemed to be working. That is, there was a sense of accountability in the process. The officer was arrested. But their key was, okay, how is this going to end? The real moment of truth for them, for this case, and for this city, in some respects, was going to be, what was the verdict going to be? Well, at this point, we still don't know. That moment is on hold because we have a mistrial.
What's next, Mark? Have prosecutors indicated whether they will try Michael Slager again? And if so, what would the timeline be on something like that?
It's a really good question. We're expecting to hear from prosecutors shortly. I mean, if I had to guess, and of course, risky business, I guess, yes, they will push for a retrial. And then, of course, that has to go through the process. Somebody has to assign the case to a judge. Then they have to see where there's a spot on the docket for a trial that's going to take 3-4 weeks. But, you know, clearly not until next year is this case going to be back in court at all. And so we got a lot of people here who sort of had a half a sense that this was not going to end conclusively today, and that is, in fact, what has happened. No decision.
All right, Mark Strassman for us in Charleston. Thank you.
Man, South Carolina's court ain't hitting on shit, man. Like, just go ahead and sentence this guy. I mean, this guy right here, this former South Carolina cop right here, killed this man in cold blood. I mean, it's on camera. I mean, I just don't get it, man. Like, why is everybody in South Carolina courtroom are scratching their heads trying to figure out what they're trying to do with this ex-cop right here? Give this guy 20 years or give him life in prison. Simple as that. You know, I just don't understand it, man. I got a feeling he's gonna walk away free from this, man. I got a feeling, man. Cause you know this South Carolina ex-cop named Michael right here, you know, he says something that he doesn't remember it, and you know he doesn't remember shooting the guy in the back like that. So let me get this straight though. If this guy right here, this former police officer from South Carolina, this cop right here, if he has a hard time memorizing things, then why in the fuck did the South Carolina cop even hire this guy in the first place? If this guy right here is unstable and he can't really remember everything. I mean, all I see is a bunch of horse shit. You know, this guy right here trying to pretend like he's crazy, because they all do that, man. You know, when people sit there and commit these murders, they try to sit there and try to pretend like they're crazy, like they're insane. You know, I'm crazy. You know, they do that just to try to avoid doing time in prison. They do that hoping that the judge would show them mercy and say, like, this guy right here is unstable. He is a little bit crazy. So we're going to cut him some slack and everything like that. Everybody always does that. When somebody kills somebody and they know they ain't the fucking wrong, they want to sit there and try to play crazy. They want to sit there and say, "Oh, I don't remember it. I don't remember doing this." Like, get the fuck out of here, man. The fuck out of here with that damn shit, man. If it had been somebody else that shot this man in the back, whether they was a cop or not, they would hurry up and sentence that person. I know if I would have shot that man in the back, they would have hurried up and threw my ass in jail. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would be in jail, but they would have not hesitate on figuring out what they're gonna sentence me. They would not have hesitated. They'd been like, my opinions, 333, you're getting 20 years in prison without the possibility of parole. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to sit there in the courtroom and scratch their head trying to figure out what they want to do with me. They're going to hurry up and throw the book at me. But for some reason, South Carolina court system, man, I don't know, man. They just ain't hitting on nothing, man. I got a feeling, man, he might walk out of this, man. He might get away with this. He might get away with it, man. I mean, even the judge, even their witness at that. Judges, they can pull out their phones. Everybody's got Android phones, smartphones. Even they can look it up on YouTube and watch this cop right here shot this man in the back. Even the judges are witnesses to that. Like, I don't understand why everybody, that they're being in denial about things. I bet if it had been your family, you would have hurried up and want somebody to do something to that cop though. But because it ain't your family, because it ain't happening to you, people like that want people to show this cop mercy and think he should walk free and get bail. No, man, he don't need to get bail. Fuck that, man. He don't need to get bail, and he don't need to get out. He don't need to walk free from this. He killed that man cold blood, man. That's what he did. And that's the thing that pisses me off about cops, man. Like, I don't believe all cops are bad. And you can call me cooning all you want to. I don't believe all cops are bad. But see, here's the thing that pissed me off about cops, though. Cops always want to serve and protect, in which that's their job, serve and protect. But when they screw up, when they fuck up, they don't want to take the responsibility of their own actions. Y'all are easy. Y'all can easily sit there and tell how bad that person is. But when you fuck up, you don't want to sit there and admit your mistakes and say, you know what, I fucked up. I hesitated and I fucked up. And that's the thing that pissed me off about cops like that. They think they always in the right, and when they in the fucking wrong. And shit like that pissed me off, whether you're a cop or not. I can't stand people who's like that when they think they're in the right all the time when they in the wrong. They always think they're in the right, but they in the wrong. And this cop right here is in the wrong right here. And I'm not just saying this, trying to be, so I'm not trying to be racist, say, this cop is racist. And I don't always think about that. I don't always think like that. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about everything's racist. All right. I just think this cop right here killed this man cold blood. He killed him cold blood. And now he don't want to sit there and be a man and admit his mistakes because he's trying to, I don't want to do time in jail. But yeah, you got balls enough to kill this man in cold blood though. Anyway, I'm done, man.